and you've hearing us talk about X, but what is X? And tonight, I pray that not only after you hear this vision sharing, you'll be learning more about X, but I also pray that you can somehow feel yourself relate or even wanting to be part of this exciting journey. And I want to say thank you to those of you who have been, walking with us and support us in the past 3 years. Let me tell you, this is our night. This is your night. This is a night to enjoy the fruit that we've been working hard together. So without further ado, let me introduce you and invite you to this exciting adventure of X.
Imagine graduating from high school and you are in the process of applying for college. But due to the fact that you have no knowledge of computer, you cannot apply. You are not able to apply within the time that is requested, to a point where you have to be denied as going to school that year. I know here in the United States it might sound weird, this kind of idea, because everybody pretty much knows what is computer. But back in the country like Togo and some rural areas in Africa, it's real. People don't know what computer is in certain areas. Imagine a young person desperately looking for a job and finally getting this opportunity to have interview. And he did well during the interview, but he still cannot get that job for one main reason, because he failed to respond appropriately to questions related to computer knowledge. And this is the craziest one. Imagine a young person growing up in a rural village, somewhere far away, remotely, to a point where he has to work hard to at least go to high school and graduate, and has to come to the city to go to university or college. But due to lack of means and lack of support from the parents, he could not go. Even though he has this enthusiasm to go further, he decided to take at least a training to have a vocational skill to get a job. But unfortunately, the city he's living in or the village he's living in does not have those vocational schools to provide him those skills that he desperately wanted to have and at least go out and work. My name is Raphael. I moved to the United States 5 years ago. I've been living in the Bay Area since then. I grew up in Togo. I've seen this reality I've just shared with you. They're real. The need is there. Computer is like nothing in America. But countries like Togo or some other countries in Africa, it is so true that the need is there, the lacking is there. I remember myself coming here in America, I have to download a lot of applications to learn how to type on the computer. It was that bad. I grew up in the city of Lome, but it was that bad. I did not have access to computers, and I did not have access to that technology world. It is a fact that the need is there, and we need to do something about it. Myself, in 2013, I remember getting turned down on a lot of job opportunities just because I did not have computer skills. And I moved here in America, and it happens that Pastor James and Brother Michael called me, and they shared this idea with me that they want to have African career training school. They have this idea to have a school that will be providing these skills to people, particularly those who don't have this opportunity or support to go to colleges. I welcome that idea, like, wow, I mean, this is something that I really need to input as much as I can, because I've known how needy these kind of skills are in my country. I know how important this act will help. And then I decided to join, and since then I've been helping ACT as executive assistant, doing the translating work, because Togo is a French-speaking country, and we're here, the board here, everything is in English. So we have to have someone to combine, someone to be doing the translation work between here and Togo. And I stepped into that position. I've been helping since then. And I've seen the growth of ACT. We've done a lot of work, and we've seen people getting the skills, going out onto the field and getting jobs. So I believe this is a great movement. This is a big dream that we are dreaming together, and this is a life-changing dream. And even on top of that, I went to university in Togo before I moved here. I was in my third year of university in accounting before I moved to the state. I remember learning a lot about computer, theoretically, but not having this chance to really have a computer and use a computer and put into application what we learn in schools. So the need is there to help people get these skills. At ACT, I believe that we're going to be providing skills to students that might even though ACT is not a university, we will be providing skills to students that will be able to compete even with people graduating from universities. Because what we have at ACT is actual skills that we are providing. We have teachers working with students, developed in the lab environment, providing hands-on experience to students. So I can't wait to see people praising the Lord, happy because of this help we provided to them by giving them opportunity to go out and get a job. I also believe that this is not just us helping people on individual skills. We're helping communities. Because at ACT, we provide skills. People will gain skill. They will go out onto the job market. They will get a job. They will get income. They can take care of their families. They can support their kids and put kids in school. So if we think about it, we are not just helping people on individual scale, but we're helping communities. They're putting their kids into school. Kids are going to school. It's like generational thing. So I really hope together we can join hands in hand, put in our efforts as much as we can to help this movement move forward and bless people on the other side of the ocean. With this excitement, I'm going to invite my brother, Michael, who has great points he would like to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphael. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael, and I'm going to tell you guys how we started. About 5 years ago, at a Destiny conference, I met Pastor James for the first time. So he already went to Africa, and so he was telling me about his dream, how we can help the community and disciple nations and help them to be self-sufficient. And before I knew it, I was sleeping in the same bed with him in West Africa. That wasn't easy. Wenxuan, good job. So before I went, I did some research online and also talked to some missionaries and ministers that has served there before. And they told me this exact quote: "It is almost impossible to have a self-sufficient church in Togo or in West Africa because there's very lack of education. No education, no job, no job, no money, no offering. So it's very hard." I was like, oh, bummer. Sucks to be James. But when I went to Africa with him, we talked to the local leaders about this problem. Surprisingly, instead of giving us that kind of defeated response, like, yeah, this is the way it is, we see fire in their eyes. Not only they're very aware of the situation, they're ready to change. This is their dream. They want to build a self-sufficient community and church. Guys, this is moving. This is contagious. And the rest is history. An album was recorded. An internet cafe was opened, all pointing towards helping them to be self-sufficient. And finally, 2 years and 4 days ago, to be exact, 5 of us from Silicon Valley, we answer a calling from God, and we want to pursue and make this thing a real thing. We want to put the last piece of the puzzle together and form a school that will provide an educational platform tailored to the local job market and empower students with practical and marketable skills to greatly increase students' financial stability and economic mobility. ACTS was born. This is impacting not just lives, not just families, but in communities, and soon we will be impacting nations. Personally, I've started 4 businesses in the past 4 years. The first 2, I have to tell you guys, I fall flat on my face. ACT is no different. Lots of struggles, up and downs, grinding, pushing, shelving. But we have come so far that the achievement is just so satisfying. Nothing in this world brings me more joy and pleasure by seeing how ACT grow. With this said, I want to introduce the next presenter to tell you guys how exactly what we have did. So this person, give me just 1 more minute. Okay, we went to Africa together, and we were at a youth conference, and they were ready to show a video, but we had a technical difficulty. And he just grabbed the mic and started beatboxing. Okay, for most of them over there, they don't know what beatbox is. So the whole crowd went crazy. Okay, so please help me welcome Tong Fan.
Hey everybody, I'm sorry I will not be beatboxing this evening. So my name is Tom Fan, and I've been doing business since essentially middle school, whether that's buying and selling candy on the fields or creating pay structures to help my friend play RuneScape online, like a monthly subscription fee game. And in the past 5 years, I've been working in HR, held positions from coffee maker to fax pusher, and currently I direct a small firm. But I mean, this doesn't give me that fulfillment. It's great, I'm doing things, but I wanted to do things for God. And this is because while I've been doing business for a long time, I've been with this church even longer. I've been attending this church for a little over 15 years now. I'm 23, so that's more than half of how I've been alive. And so while I may not know most of you on a personal level, I feel a deep familial connection to everyone that comes to this church. And I see you on a weekly basis, and I love it here. And so when Pastor James invited me to go to West Africa in 2011, I had nothing better to do, so I was like, sure, let's go. I went, and I was like, this is fantastic. The food's great. And then in 2014, I went again, and this time I realized, hey, I can actually do something here. I'm not just a tourist. I can help. I can contribute in some shape, way, or form. So as of early 2015, I joined the board. And what I primarily do is I offer my insights into business, especially as it relates to communication and negotiations. And since the birth of ACTS 2 years ago, the logistics and requirements behind driving this have been tremendous, rife with issues and left and right. We lacked any form of consistent data collection. There was so many cultural assumptions about professionalism and how we carry ourselves in meetings and whatnot. And most of all, we didn't have a build, measure, and learn system. There was no metrics to really go forward, so we're just shooting in the blind. But, I mean, I joined a year ago, and these guys have been working for longer than that. So I'm going to bandwagon and take their accomplishments and say, we have developed metrics and systems to obviate and make unnecessary all these problems. We've developed the infrastructure and personnel required to have reliable and consistent data. We're going to show you some numbers later. They're simplified, but trust me, we got mounds of numbers later. And this allows us to actually create credible and objective goals. And this makes me so excited. I love numbers. I mean, I play video games, so I love numbers. And so when we're getting these numbers, I'm like, yes, we're moving and moving. But it's mostly because these great people here. Another accomplishment that this team has wonderfully done is bridge the cultural gap. In West Africa and Silicon Valley, we have so many different assumptions of one another. And it's through, like Pastor James, he says like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. But this guy is like straight wise. He's super gifted and super like God-fearing, God-loving. He's navigated us through so many murky waters that would have otherwise left us to shambles. And so through that, we have this type of intimacy with our network within Togo, and we can talk to them face to face, very frankly with one another. And now, it's with great pleasure and enthusiasm, I want to show you some numbers. Throughout the 2 years that ACTS, the school, has been up, we've serviced over 200 students, ranging from summer courses to rural vocational training or summer and entire semester-long courses. We have a total of 10 teachers, 5 on-site that teach on a routine basis, and 5 that come in annually or semi-annually to give training. One of them, again, is Pastor James, Reverend James, as I learned a week ago. It's been Reverend for a long time, I just didn't know. And they come in and they give these vocational trainings, these applicable trainings. The subjects range from video editing to secretary work, and as Ralph said, computer work and computer knowledge, all the way to basic wiring and solar installation. The next slide, please. And so, as a direct result, we have 34 people. This is directly through ACTS. They have found jobs because of ACTS. And this is just direct association. Now, this number doesn't include the people who have found jobs ancillary to ACTS. This doesn't include the people we've hired to help us. This doesn't include the teachers we pay. That's a totally different number set. These are just students. While these numbers, they're in their infancy, and without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, with God's backing, these numbers will grow and continue to grow. This is the future, and this is a development of something paramount for this church, I believe. We're going to be giving back in a new facet, in a Silicon Valley-esque entrepreneurial facet. And to talk about our future and our finances, I would love to introduce our lovely Amanda Ma.
Thanks, Tom, for the introduction. My name is Amanda Ma. I have been with ACTS since its inception. There's always a soft spot in my heart for the people in Africa. Many years ago, when I went to Africa the first time, that's way before I became the Christian to join the ACTS, my heart was broken to see the people, their living condition in Africa. They need help. They need help to build their home, their road. They need help to have clean water, electricity, and to have education. It's God's magical hands to lead me into the ACTS. After that, I actually became a Christian, and I joined River of Life, and it's God's magic hands lead me to the ACTS, and it's my honor to join the ACTS. To working with group of passionate brothers and sisters to help the people in West Africa, a country of Togo, to help them to learn a skill set for life. As the CFO of the ACTS, I have many years of a professional background in the corporate finance, and I be able to use my background to help ACTS to build the financial forecasting and modeling, to oversee monthly financial reporting, to ensure our spending is legitimate and in line with our mission. And I also fully committed myself to use my expertise and experience to help ACTS to build the financial success. Today, I would like to share with you our next 2 years financial projection. In next 2 years, we will double our admission. We're going to have reach the 400 students. In result of that, ACTS going to be self-sufficient in next 2 years. Next slide. This slide is showing the ACTS expenses we use in the different category. Our funding will use to pay the rent and the marketing expense and the salaries for the teachers and the administration expenses as well. We have some overhead for the US. This is just a snapshot of our financials. And next, I actually, with great honor and pleasure and joy, to want to show you the testimonial is produced by our students from the Togo.
My name is Milestones. I'm cameraman, graphic designer, and media man. Here is Ajitogo Merci Mono.
Born in 1988, third son of Zotu Yaovi and Otor Abla, Zotu Mensah grew up with his grandmother at Akoresiwa. On this life journey, where poverty meets daily life, he made his wife learn sewing, and the children study in a private school with his savings from the taximoto job in 2013. Filled of audacity, Mensah obtained his driving license in 2015, and in the same year, he registered himself to evening computer classes at ACTS, Africa Career Training School, a professional training center which opened its door on the 11th August 2014, and which has already trained over 100 students in multimedia.
He found the school and he wanted to attend it. Firstly, I shaked, but he insisted. When he started these courses, we started having money issues. I was hopeless, and I told him better to stop the school and continue his job to feed the family, and so I can finish learning my work.
However, he requests working materials from his colleagues and sometimes from the center to honor some computer graphics and multimedia contracts.
Mensah, after his training, keeps safely his relationship with the school. Several times, he comes to ask for our help because he doesn't have working machines. Since he is a Zemijaman, he always lucky to find customers or people that ask for his service. According to his zealness, We couldn't refuse to help him whenever he comes to us. We allow him to work with our merchants.
Donc, s'il a, par exemple, des conceptions à faire, il vient faire.
Tout d'abord, je remercie Dieu.
First of all, I give the big things to God because He gives us the strength, the health, the wisdom, and the idea.
Je remercie aussi ma femme.
I thank my wife, those that have the idea to open this school, Africa Career Training School, because thanks to them, I'm feeling good today. I thank also the director that encouraged me to progress in the domain and all the staff. Today, I have faith that tomorrow will be brighter.
Nous voulons remercier nos partenaires pour l'effort qu'ils sont en train de consentir. Nous voulons les remercier pour l'amour.
We want to be thankful to our partners for the effort they are doing and the love they have for the whole Africa, especially for Togo. In occurrence, Pastor James. Pastor James is a God servant that has the whole Togo in his heart, and anytime he comes to Togo, he tries to do all his best to put joy into the hearts of the Togolese youth. And we really want to thank him.
Et nous voulons vraiment les remercier. Et nous voulons
Our thanks go also to the senior pastor Tong. He too loves this country, so this is the opportunity to the whole Togo to thank them for their love for this country.
pour nous, les Togolais.
Speak in Mandarin and I will translate into English.
It is a miracle that I can start so many churches in Africa, let me tell you.
这这个神迹可以在非洲开始那么多的分堂。You can do that.
但因为我今天刚刚还在旧金山讲完道回来，所以我第5堂讲到刚刚才回来，这累个已经没什么力气。
Actually, I just finished the 5th preaching engagement today from San Francisco. Just came back. I'm really tired.
所以我还是用中文比较 easy 来讲一下。
I feel more easy to speak in Mandarin.
2008年，我带着 Pastor James 到非洲去。
2008, when I brought Pastor James to Africa.
在他们带的青年特会第1届的青年特会结束之后
The end of first youth conference in Africa.
我还记得在Lomain 的 Sarakawa 的旅馆，我们在那里喝茶。
In the hotel in Lomain, we were drinking tea.
当时在 Lomain 的 youth pastor 就是 Pastor Matthias.
At that time, the youth pastor, Pastor Matthias.
我想他在跟James 在谈话的时候
And as they were talking with Pastor James,
他就讲他有一个梦想
he told Pastor James that he had a dream.
那个梦想就是有一天非洲的教会能够自立自足
He dreamed that one day the churches in Africa can be self-independent and self-supporting.
我相信我们第一次听到那个反应都觉得开玩笑
So our first response to his dream is, this must be joking.
但是没想到这句话就深深的植在 Pastor James 的心中
But I never thought that this dream has been planted in the heart of Pastor James.
感谢主，我想一个梦想不只是你心中想要一些事情发生
I think that dream is not just something that you have in your heart that something would happen,
你必须要殷勤的去栽种
but you need to diligently to plant the seed.
当一个人领受了一个梦想之后
When a person receives a dream,
好像他里面就有个热情去驱动他要开始做一些事情
and there's a passion that moves him to do something.
一开始你不知道你在做什么
Initially, you do not know what to do.
就像 Pastor James 一开始也不知道他在
Just
做
like
什
in
么
the beginning, Pastor James doesn't know what to do.
开始每年青年特会就开始摸索要干嘛呢
So every year during the youth conference, kind of thinking, what should we do?
我还记得那个时候他想了教大家做肥皂吧
And so at that time, he was thinking how to help the people to make soap.
我说卖做肥皂这怎么能够自养自足啊
So making soap in Africa, how can they be self-supporting by making soap?
但是我就看见他一点一滴的就开始在做
So little by little, he start working.
其实他也经过很多梦想破碎的时刻
In fact, he have gone through many broken dreams.
就是当初一起有梦想的一些人，
Initially, those who have dreams that dream together,
其实后来也分散各地。
they have scattered into different places.
Even Pastor Matthieu 被我们派到 Senegal 去做牧师去
And
了
Pastor Matthias was sent to Senegal to be the pastor there.
，Raphael 也跑到美国来了，
And Raphael come to America.
真的是各分东西耶。
And they all moved to different part of the world.
我知道 Pastor James 经过一段梦想破碎的时刻，
I believe that Pastor James has gone through dream being broken
但一个
period.
从神而来的梦想一定能够坚持到底。
But when the dreams come from God, you will persist to the very end.
这些年我看的 Pastor James 的成长，
These few years, I saw how Pastor James grow.
有些时候我刻意没有帮他什么，
Sometimes I deliberately not to help in anything,
我在旁观一下，
so I'm observing from the side.
我就想 make sure 这是从神而来。
I just want to make sure that it is from God.
一个从神而来的意向，他一定坚持到底。
So a dream from God, he will persist to the very end.
感谢主，在2014年终于这个梦想成真了。
Thank the Lord, in 2014, this dream has become a reality.
我也有这个荣幸，
I have this honor,
在那个开张典礼，我在那里剪彩。
and also cut the ribbon during the open ceremony service.
虽然我并没有做什么，
Although I did not do much,
可是我真的是为了 Pastor James 来感谢神，
I really want to thank God for Pastor James.
也为他这个 wonderful team 来感谢神。
Also thank God for his wonderful team.
这是不容易的一件事情。
This is not an easy task.
你要知道，非洲的文化跟我们文化是完全不一
You
样
need to know that the culture in Africa is different from our culture here.
啊。我们这里的文化是都要预先设计好、计划好，一切再行动。
Our culture here is everything need to be pre-planned before we take any action.
非洲的文化是有多少做多少嘛。
In Africa, whatever you have, you do.
你讲什么计划？没有计划，做
Don't
多
talk
少
about
嘛。
plan, just whatever you have, you do.
我知道，在一开始两边真的很难沟通的，
I know that in the early stage, it's hard to communicate between two sides.
但感谢神，真的是透过他们的一些的沟通，透过很多的时间跟代价，我们就看见，你看两边都是能够彼此的合作。
But thank the Lord through many communications, many planning, and many sacrifices, now two can communicate with one another.
弟兄姐妹，我真的要告诉你，非洲是非常重要一个领域，我们需要得着的。
And brothers and sisters, let me tell you, Africa is an area that we really need to win for Christ.
为什么？最简单一个原因，
One very simple reason.
全世界基督教国家的人口都在递减。基督教的人口就是所有的人口，基督教国家的人口都在递减。
Okay. The Christian populations over the world is decreasing.
当然，我们看见全世界这些基督教的国家也都是不再生育了，多半。
And the Christian nations are no longer giving birth.
所以你看见欧洲有这个问题，美国也有这个问题啦，
So Europe and America, we have this same problem.
中国也有这个问题，开始有了。
And China has the same problem.
你给他二胎，他也不要。现在
You allow them to have 2 babies, they don't want that now.
所有的这些先进的国家人口都在递减。
And all those developing countries, their population is dropping.
我告诉你，只有非洲，
Only Africa keep increasing.
非洲每一个妇女的平均生育率是4.7。
And 4.7 is the what do you call
Birth
it? Birth rate for every woman in Africa.
每一个女人会平均生4.7个孩子。
4.7 babies for every woman in Africa.
换句话说，将来一个最厉害的一个福音征战会在非洲，
In other words, in the future, one of the greatest spiritual warfare will be in Africa.
因为那是将来全世界人口集中的地方。
Because the population will be concentrated in that area.
所以，如果我们现在不看重非洲的工作，将来有一天回教会 take over 非洲
If。we do not focus on Africa right now, eventually Islam or Muslim going to take over Africa.
而今天我们要进入到非洲工作，我们不但是要传福音，而且要帮助他们在生活各方面的帮助。
Now, as we go into Africa, not just want to preach the gospel to them, but also we need to help them to get jobs and to establish themselves.
因为非洲是非常贫穷的地方，
Because Africa is so poor.
我就想到英国每一次，我们在非洲很多的英属国家嘛，
And there are many countries used to be colonized by the British.
我就发现英国每到一个国家，他一定做3件事情。
Three things the British will do whenever they colonize a nation.
他一定第一个建造教会，
First, they will build churches.
第二个建造医院，
Then they will build hospitals.
第三个建造学校。
Then they will build schools.
哇，我真的非常 impressed。身心灵嘛，你想想看，医院身体，这个教会心灵， 还是什么？
学校。
学校混了。
So I'm really impressed with their strategies. You know, when you talk about building churches, talking about their spiritual need, and talking about hospital, their physical needs, and talking about education, the need of the soul.
我就想到今天我们生命河开始在非洲的事工，也在这3方面在进行。
So our River of Life, our ministry in Africa is moving toward that direction as well.
我们一方面在那宣教职堂，
And on one hand, we are church planting in Africa,
基金会在做孤儿院
and Foundation is doing the work of the orphanages,
，Acts 在做教育，
and X is in the business of
能
education,
够帮助这些年轻人能够自立自主，
and to help the young people to stand on their own feet.
间接的就帮助教会自立自主
So。indirectly, you are helping the church to be self-sufficient.
Amen。
Amen.
所以我真的觉得这是一个非常重要的事工，
So I really feel that this is a very important ministry.
也是将来我觉得我们需要花更多的精力，是全面性的进入非洲。
It's something that we need to spend more time and resources eventually to develop this thing holistically.
所以我邀请你今天晚上能够做这个拥抱梦想的人。
And so tonight I'd like to invite you to embrace this dream.
我们看见梦想是从一个人而来的，
We see that dreams come from a person,
但是梦想需要有更多人来拥抱。
but dreams need more people to embrace it.
所以今天晚上我们邀请你成为这个拥抱梦想
So
的人，
tonight we invite you to be one who embrace the dream.
也盼望你有一天进入我们的团队，一同来配搭。
And hopefully the one day you will join our team and to work
我
together.
们更希望有一天跟我们到非洲去，
And we hope even more that one day you will go with us to Africa.
非洲需要你，
Africa needs you.
上帝的国度需要你。
The kingdom of God needs you.
OK， 上帝祝福你们。
God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Tong, for not giving up on me. It's actually, I think it takes a lot of faith for our church to entrust someone like me to, keep going to Africa. Yeah, I wonder when will be the day that they decide just to buy a one-way ticket. The performance review. Okay, one-way ticket. In fact, I'm going tomorrow, and I checked. I have a two-way ticket. Yeah, actually, I like to just honor the team who is going to Africa with me tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. If you are here, could you raise your hand? Yeah. Thank you for coming and support. I told them you have to come and support your leader. Otherwise, your ticket is one way. The rest of people, they are in trouble. Yeah. Well, big amen to Pastor Tong. A dream from God is so great for one person to carry. A dream from God is definitely too big for one person to carry. Ever since I was 18, God's calling of Great Commission, make disciples of all nations, becomes the drive of my life. And I realize with pastors only, we can never accomplish this dream. The secret and the key is you. Let me say it again. The secret and the key is you guys. Jesus says, you are the light of the world. Who is the you? Well, my brother-in-law, his last name is you. Yeah, but who is the you? Actually, he's helping us. Anyways, okay. So, okay, see? One-way ticket, okay. So, we are the light of the world. Not only the pastors. We are the light of the world. Come on. Come on. You have to take that challenge. You have to take that invitation. You have to affect that fact that how Jesus sees you, is that you are the light of the world. And I realized the main job for me is to create a platform in order for you to stand up there and to shine. And I realized X is becoming one of those platforms that you can shine. I'll give you an example. Brother Philip, could you raise your hand? All right. Brother Philip, he has a great resume of his career. International trading, engineering, electrician, and a solar licensed. Great career in the state. 2014, he went to Africa with Pastor Tong, and then he realized in some of the villages, they don't even have light. They don't even have electricities. But when he looked up, as he prayed, he sees the big sun on the sky. There's a lot of sun. I'm telling you, you can tell. So he had an idea. Why not, bring the solar system to Africa? So August last year, with the joint effort of River of Life in Togo, River of Life Foundation, and X, we helped the village called Agbesia to set up a standalone solar system that in the human history, let me say it again, in the human history, is the very first time that there is a wall with a switch on it, and you can turn it on and let there be light. You couldn't imagine how joyful they were. And he's going with us again tomorrow. Wow. And you know what? Brother Philip literally became the light of the world. Shine for Jesus. Another example, earlier this year we went to Togo to have this community day at the city of Adirogome, where X locates. The idea of community day is to show appreciation to the city of accepting, embracing our school. So we gave, free prizes, free game, free food. Guess what? Togo sandwich. And we throw a free workshop. So the workshop was taught by Brother Da Dong. He's also here today. Where's Da Dong? Yeah. So Da Dong, he is he's actually one of the leaders of the photography team in our church, and he's a pro. He can do really pro photography works. So he went there to throw this workshop called "How to Take Beautiful Pictures with Your Device," and the workshop became something out of our imagination. In the middle of the workshop, I was dragged by a bunch of big African men. They dragged me out. I was like, "What happened? What happened?" Then they dragged me out, and then they began to interview me, and I realized they were the national radio station of Togo. I wasn't prepared. I said, "Wow, what should I talk about?" Little did I realize I was speaking to the nation. Wow. Whatever I say, maybe tens of thousands of people will hear. And not only just that, after the workshop, we received a phone call from the national, we're talking about national level, my friends, national. We received a phone call from National Photography Club of Togo. They called our director, Mr. Francois, and they complained. What did they complain? How dare you guys to hide such a great treasure for your own school, for your own pleasure? For such a professional person like Mr. Da Dong, we could have hosted a national photography conference for the whole nation and for at least 3 days to up to 1 week or maybe a semester. Have you heard what I'm trying to say? Da Dong, literally, you got a key. You got a key to disciple all the photographers of their nation. Can you hear that? Have you heard that? This becomes a platform. What about medical profession, educational profession, marketing, laws, you name it? It's possible. to disciple nations. So we're creating a platform. It wasn't in our plan, but we are somehow creating a platform for you to shine. Aren't you excited? Yeah. I'm trying to copy Pastor Tong. This is your moment, right? It's true. This is your moment. Come on. Come on. A dream is so great. It's too big for one person to carry. Right here, I would like to also thank to my team. Without you guys, really, one-way ticket long time ago. Yeah, can I imagine how this can happen without you guys? And I'd like to give thanks to some of I don't say uncles and aunties, but the big brothers and big sisters who has been walking with me and mentoring, giving advice. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really thank you so much for believing in me and to support. A dream is so great. Well, and tonight, X is becoming a platform for the donors to shine also. Yeah. Amanda's statistic of the upcoming 2 years, with $58,000, we can reach our goal of helping the school to become financially self-sufficient. This is literally becoming a seed that plants and almost for sure that will grow. Wow. So are you willing to be part of this exciting journey? I learned a new word this couple of days. I think in the entrepreneur world, you have this MVP launched, minimal viable product. Yeah, some people said this is a moment of a MVP launch. But let me tell you, to me, this is a moment of writing the book of Acts, chapter 29. Yeah, this is the only book that doesn't have an ending. This is the book of a bunch of people respond to the Great Commission and to pour out their life, to fulfill, to follow, and to dream God's dream. And today we have this opportunity to write our very own chapter 29 of Acts. Yeah. This dream is, reachable. We have the facility to host it. We have the data to back it. And with your help, we can have the means to finish it. Yeah. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for, first of all, your love to us. And we thank you for your grace and your trust to co-labor with us. Today is a moment of celebration. Today is a moment of giving thanks. And today is a moment of drink bigger. And I thank you for every brother and sister, every family member who spend their time, to set aside their time to come here to show support. I pray the spirit that stirred my heart will touch your heart as well. And Lord, together we can drink big drinks for you, with you. And we just pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. So I believe when you first came in, you have got the piece of this pledge form, and it's made by my beautiful wife. So there are 3 ways that we can participate. So if you have the form, you can take it out. If you don't, please raise your hand. We can pass it to you. So we have stayed thank you. If you need pen, you can also let us know. We have stated everything we talk about today, and also our goals. Yeah, and you're welcome to check the amount that you feel like to participate or to contribute. And besides the donation, we also love to have your prayer support. Because without God, nothing is possible. But with your prayer, everything is possible in God. And thirdly, we talk about the platform that for you to shine. If you're willing to be part of it, now you know. You don't need to be a pastor to do missions. You can be an accountant to do missions. You don't want me to be the accountant of the mission board. You don't want to. Yeah, so whatever talents you have and you feel like to contribute, you can also, check the box and say, I'm willing to volunteer. And welcome to write down your professions. Don't be shy. Just write down your professions. And if we see, the needs will come to you, and we can really dream together. We can work together. And this is a pledge card. So after you finish filling the form, you can tear this along the line. And when you walk out the door, there's a box that you can put in. And if you like to write a check, and if you have the check ready today, I wouldn't hesitate to thank you. And you can please write ROLCC and put ACTS at a memo. And this way, the offering will go directly to the project of X. So this concludes the meeting tonight. And please take your time to maybe have some moment of prayer, or discuss with your significant other, and to think of how to participate. Yeah, and actually we have some light refreshments by the hallway, and don't rush yourself. Feel free to grab some drink, and or have some moment of fellowship. Yeah, we see some friends from different places. Love to mingle with you guys. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.